Hi friends, this is Denario Research and welcome to my new video. Today I would like to talk about Ripple strategy. Recent months was associated with a lot of FUD and misunderstandings around Ripple as company and XRP as digital asset. Some people call XRP like scam coin, which is centralized and 60% owned by Ripple, and this coin is built and owned by banks, and these banks will never use XRP, and so on. That is why it is so important to emphasize on Ripple's strategy, role of banks in this strategy, and what ultimately company wants to achieve with it. Ripple's goal, or I would say mission, is to build so-called Internet of Value. What actually Internet of Value means? We have Internet of Things which nobody understands and cannot explain. So what the hell is the Internet of Value? Well, according to Ripple, Internet of Value means ability to send value, in other words money, over the internet. As easy as we send email, text messages or GIFs on Twitter. We live in 2018 and fantastic technologies surround us. But when it comes about cross-border payments, we have to use infrastructure that was created in early 70s and didn't change much since then. I like the example which CEO of Ripple often uses to describe today's cross-border payments. If you want to move money from one continent to another, the fastest way is to take a bag of cash on the plane and fly there. Because in case of banks, it may take 3 to 5 days to settle, and costs are also high. Everyone who has ever business with Swift can confirm that. But neither Ripple nor any other company cannot build a global payment network by its own. That is why Ripple decided to partner with banks. Blockchain will not kill banks any day soon, and banks will be part of our lives for a long time. Banks have already infrastructure for payment processing, they already have a client base, and partnership between Ripple and banks is a win-win scenario for both. Ripple will grow their business by utilizing of XRP tokens and other their products, and banks will reduce payment processing costs and actually will make more money from it. But banks are also well known as the most conservative organizations in the world. Any innovation is adopted very slowly by banks. It may take months or even years. But once it is adopted, it will be used for decades. Swift is the best example of it. So this network was built more than 40 years ago and still widely used by banks. That is why a Ripple partnership strategy has 3 sequential steps, and actually 3 products that help to implement these steps. In the end of the day, successful implementation of all 3 steps will smooth out adoption by banks of Ripple network and also will help Ripple to build Internet of Value. The first step is to make cross-border payments faster. For this purpose, Ripple has created a product called xCurrent. The next step is to help banks and other financial institutions with liquidity management problem. For this purpose, xRapid and well-known XRP tokens plan to be used. And finally, the third step, where product xVia plans to be used, will allow banks standardize connections between different networks, platforms, and digital wallets. Let's look at Ripple strategy in more details, and let's begin with step number 1 and dive into the xCurrent product. Like I said before, modern banks rely on Swift network in cross-border payments. But this SWIFT network was built in early 70s and didn't change much since then. That is why cross-border payments may take up to several days to settle, and these payments are at some extent unreliable. This all happens because of problem in payments messaging between multiple banks in different countries. xCurrent solves this messaging problem, and it allows to reduce settlement time from days to just a few seconds. That means that cross-border payments may happen in real time and almost instantly. It is also important to mention that xCurrent does not use XRP or any other digital asset or token. xCurrent was released in 2016, and because of its simplicity, it was widely adopted by banks and other financial institutions. So today, Ripple has more than 100 clients that send billions of dollars over xCurrent product across the globe every year. The second step, which is liquidity management, is more difficult to implement. And as of now, Ripple has publicly announced only 4 clients that use xRapid. Let's dive in and understand what is liquidity management problem and what solution is proposed by Ripple. Cross-border payments typically involve currency exchange, and banks solve liquidity need in 2 ways. If bank is small enough, they typically buy expensive forex services from larger banks like Citi, Bank of America, and so on. If bank is a little bigger, they may open banking accounts in local currencies in countries where they plan to send money, and they have to pre-fund these accounts. So money on this account should stay untouched until any payment occurs. And as of now, there are more than $27 trillion locked on these correspondent or Nostro accounts. xRapid offers the third option. It completely eliminates the need of Nostro accounts and expensive forex services. This product was released in the mid of 2017, and it is built on well-known XRP tokens. So, if bank, let's say, wants to send money from Korea to Japan, instead of using any forex services or pre-funded Nostro accounts, Korean bank buys XRP tokens from the Korean cryptocurrency exchange or any other liquidity provider for Korea wons. Then, 3 seconds later, this bank sells these XRP tokens in Japan for Japanese yens, which makes payments much faster and much cheaper than it happens today. That is nice, of course, but now let's look at the challenge or difficulty that slows down adoption of xRapid. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. Here is Ripple, and it is daily trading volume. Today it is about $1 billion. Let's look in more details. Approximately 50% of this volume comes from South Korea. But let's say that some bank wants to make $100 million payment over xRapid. This bank probably will go to Bitfinex because it has the largest XRP against US dollar volume. But it is surprisingly less than 100 million. It is only 76 million daily tradable volume. So it will take a lot of time to accumulate $100 million position without affecting price. And actually that is the problem that currently Ripple and its Vice President Miguel Vias are trying to solve. Let's have a look at some historical data. Year ago, in January 2017, Ripple's daily volume was only 237,000. Imagine 237,000 against 1 billion that we have today. So, as you see, this liquidity problem is being solved very successfully, but still Ripple's team has a lot of work ahead. And the final third step is standardization with xVia product. xVia is some sort of interface with bunch of connectors that allow integration of different payment platforms, digital wallets, and so on with xRapid and xCurrent product. xVia was released also in the mid of 2017, and as of now, Ripple has publicly announced 3 clients of xVia. Successful implementation of all these 3 products will let Ripple to build Internet of Value. And this Internet of Value will be impossible without governments, banks, financial institutions, and fiat currencies. Also, this Internet of Value will be impossible without cheap, fast, and frictionless cross-border payments. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want more videos, and leave your questions in the comment section below. Bye!